Hey, what's going on, everybody? Ruby186 back again with another video, and this is the episode 2 of Salty Frost today, starring MikeWarrior1. Now, I apologize if this video is going to be long, but there's a lot of legs to the story, and there's a lot of stuff I have to go over. Now, on Twitter, I follow many different people. I'll follow sports teams, journalists, all different types of people. I follow, as far as video game goes, outside of the typical IGN, all that other stuff. I follow a lot of PlayStation guys, a lot of people who I'm cool with, who are on the PlayStation side. I also follow people who are on other platforms if they're cool with me, or they make sense, or they're full of common sense. Now, one of the guys I follow is Tim Dog, and Tim Dog is a very well-known Xbox fanboy. Like, that's his words. That's his word, not mine. So, but he's a well-known Xbox fanboy, and me and him, we've had arguments in the past, but by and large, me and him, we're cool with each other. So, we have common interests like baseball. So me and him, we're cool with each other. Now, one day, out of the blue, he asked a question. I answered the question. It was just normal, exchange back and forth or whatever. And then this dude, MikeWarrior1, who up until this point I had no issues with, basically said that, why he asked me the question, why do I talk to him? Now, this is not the first time I've had this question asked to me from other PlayStation guys, and I give them the same answer every time. I have no issues with him. I have no beef with him. And then this jackass decides to say, "Oh, well, then you're blind." And I was like, what? I was taken aback by it because, for one, up until this point, like I said, I had no issues with him. And two, it was something that he said that I have seen that type of behavior from the Xbox BGST community. Those are the type of behavior that I've seen from that side. So to see it from him, in hindsight, shouldn't be surprising to me. But, it is what it is. So, basically, I replied, you do not overstep your bounds. I'm cool with him. That's on you. And then I sent him a DM saying, what the fuck's the deal with that? What the fuck was that? And then me and him, we went back and forth. And, ultimately, I kind of let it go. And I assumed that he let it go also. So a couple weeks later, I followed this dude called Windy City Gaming, who's also a Xbox fan, who I follow, but he's one of those dudes who's level-headed Xbox fan. You know what I mean? And I favorited a tweet that he had. I forgot what it was about, but I favorited one of his tweets. And then another guy who followed me a couple days earlier, who I followed back, his dude's name used to be I Revenge HD. Now, for those of you who may or may not know who he is, he's the guy that Anchorman V made a video on, telling the guy who made the death threat. Now, like I said in one of my previous videos, I condemn the act of death threats and all that stuff. I don't condone that shit at all. But at the same time, he started following me after he did the death threats and all that stuff. He started following me, and normally when someone follows me, I follow them back. And I knew who he was before, but I decided I was reluctant to do it, but I did it anyway. Just say what the hell, I'll follow him back or whatever. So I favorited a tweet of Windy City Gaming, and he and Chris, told me, he showed me a screenshot of him, of Windy City Gaming, saying, "Oh, don't trust." Essentially, what he said is that Windy City is two-faced, don't trust him, and stuff like that. So I ignored it at first because, for one, I was busy, and two, I didn't want to get involved in that type of BS or anything like that. So after I was done with work or whatever, I'm cruising around Twitter, and I see another tweet from Windy City Gaming, sharing a video done by Black Bond, and I saw the comment below, and he had a couple of the Xbox dudes condemning him for sharing the Black Bond video and saying this and that, and Windy City was going back and forth with them, kind of putting them in their place. So I took a screenshot of the conversation. I replied back to Chris and I said, I don't know your history with him, but he seemed like the dude seems legit. So I showed him the screenshot, whatever. And Chris, I think he said, yeah, it's cool, it's cool with me, whatever. Then Mike again chimes in, and he basically condemns me for following Windy City and bullshit like that, saying, and telling Chris, you showed improvement, he's still following this clown and all the other stuff, and like I, for the most part, I try to stay out of it. Him and Mike and Chris were going back and forth, and Chris was trying to play peacemaker. He was trying to say, listen, whatever, regardless, Hoovy seems cool. Don't let it's not a big deal. Well, how he interacts, that's his thing. It's fine. Being logical, playing peacemaker, and Mike, kept going on, and then he said this one tweet about how he has no respect for me or whatever, and then I basically told him, you could take your respect and shove it up your ass, and then it kind of deteriorated from there. Me and him going back and forth, him and Chris going back and forth. It just, it was on and on and on. Now, here's the deal. There have been a lot of people who have gone into my DM. I'm not gonna name their names because I'm not doing that. They have said that Mike is irrational, that he takes this shit too seriously and all other stuff. And I mean, it's fucking obvious. This dude sits there and tries to treat me like a fucking kindergartner, act like we're in elementary school, basically dictating who I talk to or who I don't talk to based on what they've done in the past. Now listen, who I talk to is my business. I don't care who you talk to. I don't give a shit who you talk to. Who I talk to is my business, alright? Now, me personally, I feel like I'm a pretty good judge of character, and like I don't like to associate myself with people who are inherently bad people, and I don't believe that there's a lot of people in this world who are inherently bad people. Even people I completely disagree with, I don't believe that these people are awful people. Now, according to you, you may have different standards, and I don't give a fuck about your standards. But as far as I'm concerned, whoever I talk to is my business. And based on some of the DMs that I've gotten about you, it's clear as day that you have issues. Clear as day that you have issues. I don't care how you feel about me. I don't give a fuck about your respect. Your respect means so little to me, it's not even funny. But your actions are in line with the Iron Wolves and Kiss Moves of the world, who sit there and say, I would delete you from my friends list if you play anything other than Halo 5. Your behavior is in line with Mooch, who sits there and gets ass hurt that people tweet out positive stuff about the PS4. Your stupid tweets, your irrational behavior on Twitter has been in line with some of those other fucktards that you claim are ignorant and stupid and all the other bullshit. And here you are acting just like them. So, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Fuck you. Stay out of my fucking business. This is Hoovy186. I'm out.